Now, the more we hear about the government's National Anti-Corruption Commission, the more there are questions that need an answer. Of course, corruption, it's a blight on public life, so I don't close my mind to something more being done to limit the risk it might pose. But I'm not yet convinced there's quite the problem that the Teals and the Greens are trying to assert. And if there is, what's the best way to handle it without getting into the problems we've seen in New South Wales, where reputations have been destroyed, or in Victoria, where inquiries have found fault with the Andrews government, but no action taken? What's planned for a new Canberra watchdog is wickedly expensive. A massive new bureaucracy costing over $60 million a year that Labor wants to create on top of all the other investigative and enforcement agencies we already have at a national level. Then there's the sheer injustice of chasing mere rumours and suspicions against someone's good name. Public hearings to be held at the discretion of the Commissioner could easily become show trials that destroy the lives of innocent people. The opposition wants the call on this to be matter for a superior judge, not the Commissioner alone. And there's some merit in that, given the Commissioner's going to want to justify their existence or want to keep their appointment down the track. Now we learn that the proposed Commission will be able to order phone taps without the need for a warrant and be able to compel journalists to reveal sources if an issuing officer of the Commission believes that the public interest in the investigation is greater than the public interest in freedom of press. Being able to act without a warrant is a massive departure from centuries of legal principle. Of all the elements of this watchdog, that's perhaps the most concerning to me. And the fact that it does appear there's a special carve-out for the unions. Here's the Shadow Attorney General, Julian Leeser, on this today.
Well, I would draw Mr Dreyfus's attention to Section 12 of the Corruption Commission Bill. Let me read it to you. It says, an individual other than an official of a registered industrial organisation, that means a union, who exercises or performs functions conferred on the individual by or under a provision of the law of the Commonwealth. That person, so basically if you are exercising a power under a law of the Commonwealth, whether you're a public servant or not, this law applies to you, except if you're a union official. Now, Mr Dreyfus denies that this is the case, but there it is in Section 12 of his own legislation. There's no mention of it here in the 350 pages of the explanatory memorandum. I think he needs to explain why there is a carve-out for union officials in relation to those union officials who exercise their powers to shut down building sites.
That's interesting, isn't it? And look to the experience of Gladys Berejiklian, who's yet to receive an ICAC verdict, almost 12 months on now from being forced to resign from her position as Premier, and she's left the Parliament too. That's got to show you just how destructive a badly designed so-called integrative body can be. It's critical that if this watchdog happens, the Parliament's got to get it right.